Welcome to the exhilarating world of RC racing at Mid-America Outdoors, where passion, precision, and cutting-edge technology converge to create an experience like no other. As the engines roar to life, these skilled drivers showcase their unwavering dedication and mastery of the miniature racing universe. The technological advances in RC cars have revolutionized the racing landscape. From advanced suspension systems to precision-engineered motors, every aspect of these miniature machines is meticulously crafted to provide unrivaled performance on the track. Speaking of tracks, the design of the RC racing circuits are a marvel in themselves, and today's track is no different. Featuring hairpin turns, high-speed straightaways, and challenging obstacles, this elite track here in Jay, Oklahoma is the largest it's ever been, providing the perfect canvas for drivers to showcase their prowess. Add in the fact that there's $30,000 on the line, and there's sure to be some adrenaline-fueled drama. So gear up, charge your batteries, and get ready to witness the heart-pounding action as the best RC racers battle it out for all the glory and a whole lot of green here at Visions Off-Road, presented by A-Main Hobbies and HPI Racing. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. What you see behind me is a perfectly groomed short course off-road racing track, albeit scaled way down. However, this thing will still rut up, it will develop holes, and it will act just like a big track. It's also going to put the absolute best in both machinery and drivers to the test. And much like last year, we're going to bring you the absolute best in radio-controlled racing. This is the 2023 RC Racing at Visions Off-Road event, and the cars, well, they are simply amazing. They are very complex, they are very tunable, and they are very fast. Oh, by the way, did I mention that these things burn nitromethane? Yes, the same fuel that they burn in the Top Fuel dragsters. And the drivers, well, simply put, they're the best in the world. And they're all going to be scrapping for $30,000. Now, more on what we're going to see here today, let's kick it over to my colleague, Mike Garrison.
Thanks, Ken. I'm Mike Garrison, and I'm here with one of these 8-scale Nitro Buggies that these guys are going to be racing. Let's take a closer look at what we have here. So we take the body off here. Again, 8-scale nitro powered. So these are nitro powered buggies. We've got our fuel tank here that our nitro fuel goes in, our 21 nitro engine, obviously, that are running these buggies. And then these are 4-wheel drive. So we've got a front differential, a center differential, and a rear differential. What those guys can do with that, they can change the oils in those to change how the car handles, the characteristics of the car, and the way it works on the racetrack. Just like its full-scale counterpart, we also have fully adjustable suspension, front and rear, as you can see. Now, wheels and tires. This is where the difference comes in between an RC car and a full-scale car. Air in the tires, not with an RC car. Instead, we've got foam inserts inside. Now, with the tires, these guys have a large range of tires they can choose from. Different treads, different compounds of rubber, different inserts they can put in there. These are basically infinitely adjustable. So as you can see, these cars, just like the full-scale counterparts, real race cars. They may be a little bit smaller, but they're the real deal. The track they're racing on, well, let's send it down to Scotty Ernst to talk more about that.
Thanks, Mike. Hello, everyone. My name is Scotty Ernst, and I'm coming to you trackside. This is the battlefield where our gladiators are going to have the throwdown for cold, hard cash here at Visions 2023. This layout's been designed to be very racy. You can kind of see the banks, these hairpins, a chance for guys to throw it to the inside and slide to make the pass. Go side by side, wheel to wheel. You got the step down that comes off the back straightaway. Makes for some exciting places to try to make a pass, outbreak somebody going into that hairpin. It's going to make for an exciting race here at Visions.
Man, what a great event. We made our debut here 1 year ago. $30,000 up for grabs there. $30,000 up for grabs here. World-class ranked drivers then. World-class ranked drivers now, including number 1 here. That's incredible effort. It's a big event for the RC world, which is worldwide.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And like you talked about last year, I didn't think it could get any bigger or better than it was last year. And I'm already seeing, as far as the talent goes, the track, the facility, everything just keeps getting bigger and better. And like you say, for the RC community, I mean, this is a fantastic event. It gets in the eyes of all the off-road motorsports enthusiasts. Not to mention, as an RC race, how often do you get to turn around and watch all the crazy events that are happening here in Mid-America?
Let's talk about this invite race, the distance, and what will happen here. This will be 3 different A-mains. It will be the best low, or I should say the lowest score. So if you finish first, you can score 3.
That is correct, yeah, and we got, this is going to be a 30-lap race for these drivers. Here you can see the lineup here. Ty Tessman going to be starting first on the grid for this one. Ryan Mayfield will be starting second. Mason Fuller third. Jared Tebow, unfortunately, fell ill and is not going to be here, so that spot will be empty. Spence Bridge will be starting fifth. Camden Lime, Joe Bornhorst, Cole Ogden, Long Nguyen, Dakota Finn, starting the number 10 spot. Of course, then followed up by last year's champ Jared Wiggins, Adam Drake, Caden Fuller, Brandon Rose, and Ethan Mechanic. Those last three drivers there are bump-up drivers we saw from yesterday.
Ty Tessman, one of the players we're going to need to keep our eye on Ty as he will start off there in the first position out of Cypress County, Alberta, Canada. Currently ranked 6th in the world, 7th here in the U.S. Finished second overall 1 year ago here at Visions. A 7th, a 3rd, and a 1st place finish in the last A-Main. Former world champ racing for 18 years and the 2023 MAO-sponsored Dirt Nitro Challenge champion. So he's a solid player for sure. Father of Gord builds her own engines. So great stuff, man. Great to have Ty Tessman out here. Let's get it down to Scotty.
All right, thank you very much, guys. We are right here trackside. The grid is getting set, and these guys ready to battle for some serious hard cash. Starting position is very, very important, and it all is coming down to our first final. Getting number 1 start is going to be Ty Tessman from Canada, rocking the X-Ray. He had a number 1 starting spot, finished second overall yesterday, and it is going to be on him to lead the field here in final number 1. Back to you, Ken and Mike.
Thanks a lot, Scotty. Ryan Mayfield there in second. Mason Fuller. Spencer Rivkin will be back in there towards the front. Camden Line, our bump-in driver as well. Joe Bornhorst also in here. Cole Ogden. So that is the first 7 positions as we take a look at our starter and Sean Miller. He's excited. We're excited. A-Main number 1, ladies and gentlemen, for the invite category. Here we go. 30 laps and distance. They're on the gas.
Well, this is going to be an interesting start here because Ty Tessman and Ryan Mayfield, you may remember last year, had a little bit of a scuffle on the racetrack, and they are starting 1 and 2 here in this one. They got Mason Fuller right there behind him. Ty Tessman right out of the gate with a clean start here, already a couple car lengths on Mayfield.
Yeah, he got a great start, didn't he, to drive away from Mayfield like that. And Mayfield with plenty of pressure back behind now gets a little bit of a gap. We'll see if he can close up a bit on Ty Tessman. They will cross the stripe there as they started with Fuller in 3rd, Rivkin in 4th, Camden Line with a great start here as well up in the 5th.
Yeah, Line putting their pressure on right there on Rivkin as they come back around on the left-hand side there. You see Mason Fuller, the orange and yellow HB Racing buggy chasing down the Techno of Ryan Mayfield. Oh, Mason Fuller tried to show a wheel on Mayfield there. Mayfield closes the door on him. No contact made.
And Mayfield with nothing for Ty Tessman right now. We talked about it earlier in the week. He did make a chassis change from a year ago. So one of the Techno drivers, as we were talking to Wiggins, both of them there sharing a little bit of information, now gets a little bit of a gap over 3rd place and Mason Fuller.
Yeah, and Rivkin playing nice right there. He had the inside line on Mason Fuller. He checked up just a bit early on in this one. He's going to be putting the pressure on him, though. I got a feeling here in just a few more laps as we get closer and closer to the halfway mark of this one, those passes aren't going to be quite so gentle.
Great shot there from our drone as well. Mayfield now getting a little bit of breathing room, but that battle there, oh man, that battle there for 3rd is absolutely on.
And Ken, that hole you talked about coming out of that 180 back there in the back left corner, it's getting deeper and deeper, starting to catch these guys up just a bit. You saw a couple of them there. Mason Fuller getting spun almost all the way around.
So 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, all separated by about a half a second. We knew this would be a close battle, and for sure it has developed that way.
Yes, indeed. Mason Fuller went up on 2 wheels there. That caused Rivkin. He let out just a bit, came up short on that big double on the right side. Now we got Camden Lime up in the mix here. Lime, the bump-in driver from the open class, followed up there by Joe Bornhorst.
Yeah, and worth mentioning that Lime $1,000 richer. Each one of those bump-up drivers, with the exception of the 4th one, all receive a check for $1,000 as well, part of that $30,000 purse. And look at this battle continue on here for 3rd. The action is hot and heavy on the track, but we're going to take a quick break. Stay with us. We'll be right back. RC Racing at Visions Off-Road is brought to you by A-Main Hobbies and by HPI Racing. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Mid-America Outdoors as we are RC racing at the highest level. Let's get back out to the track and watch the action.
Rivkin really putting the pressure on Mason Fuller now in the number 3 spot. battle for third and fourth. Here it is right here. Fuller in the orange and yellow. Spencer Rivkin in the blue and purple.
And he has been right there for a while now. Just cannot find that opening. But, oh, man, and he tags the tube on the inside. Able to keep going, but loses a little bit of distance.
Here they come through the drop away. We still got Camden Lime right there behind them in fifth, followed by Bornhorst, Drake, Ogden, Felong, Wynn, and Rose rounding out your top 10.
Is right there, man.
Here comes Rivkin. He's going to try and set him up right here. He's going to go wide, cut under. Not going to be quite close enough. Fuller blocking that inside line.
Rivkin's car really rotating nicely. Look at that inside line. Does he have it
There
there?
it is.
Outside in. Oh.
Spencer Rivkin, a very talented driver. He's no stranger. He's a multi-time national champion. Trying to pull out every move that he can think of at this point.
And again, buys himself a little bit of room, but look right there behind Rivkin as well. Camden Line all over him. As those two get the race, and he closes the gap.
Here they come back down the front stretch now. 16 laps left to go here for these drivers. Mason Fuller in the orange and yellow, the HB Racing driver. Rivkin and, Camden Lime putting it in the pipe there.
Oh, wow, and I mean, lost a lot of distance as well. He was right in the thick of it there, inside of the top five. He'll lose a couple of spots now. More importantly, a lot of distance.
Back onto the front side of the track. Fuller, trouble coming into pit lane. That's going to cost Fuller big time right there. Rivkin on the wall.
Right at the 7-minute mark for all of our leaders coming in here to top off.
Wow, that could be exactly what Spencer Rivkin needed there as they come out of pit lane. Rivkin going to be in third.
Look at the chaos there as well. And you can see some of the crew members looking up, trying to talk to their driver. We talked about that a year ago, some of them with radio communication now.
There's Adam Drake right there as he works his way around. He's just ahead of Ty Tessman. So Drake is now leading this race. Adam Drake, the legend, out front leading the way here in this one. I don't think Adam Drake has pitted yet. Ty Tessman in that number 2 spot. He has made his pit stop. Here they come back through the infield now.
Taking a look at some of the pit stops as well. Some of them down in the 6-second range, 6.5 seconds. Scotty, you're watching some developments on the track as well. By the way, I want to tag this. Felong Wynn with a very quick pit stop of 5.9 seconds. Scotty?
Absolutely, guys. It was absolute chaos down here with many of the top guys having trouble as they came in or exited out. There's a huge divot on the downside of the pit lane, and the guys had to jump over that to avoid it. It was chaos, and that's going to be some of the make-or-break sections of this race. The pit stop's so important. Sometimes they're good, sometimes they can be devastating.
Great eye there, Scotty. Yeah, for sure something that was upsetting a couple of those cars. And coming off pit road like that, you're on the pipe, and, man, you get up there on the tube, launch yourself up over the tube, and find yourself at the back of the pack.
Well, Ty Tessman looking comfortable out front here in this one right now. And one thing I'm noticing about Ty's car that I haven't seen this weekend on a lot of the other cars is he's running a Lexan wing. Instead of the solid plastic wing, he's running the lightweight Lexan wing on the back, the clear. A little bit different wing setup than we've seen on a lot of the other drivers. Mason Fuller looks like he may be back up at that number 2 spot now. Ryan Mayfield has dropped to third. Spencer Rivkin in fourth, Adam Drake in fifth, Ogden Bornhorst. Look at that battle right there, third, fourth, and fifth. Here they come back around. That is Mason Fuller leading that parade there.
Dakota Finn back there in 10th place. We were chatting about wings a day ago with his, and a couple of holes drilled in the back of his, so he has some options there to either plug the holes up or to leave them open. The wing technology always advancing here as we watch these two continue to go at it. And again, the gaps between these drivers very, very tight in many cases.
Yeah, Fuller going a bit wide there. Ryan Mayfield looking for the inside line. Mayfield dives in. Oh, gives him a bump. Lets him have it back.
Gets around the outside. All three of them separated here by just a tenth or so.
Rivkin right there behind him as well. All three of these drivers very talented. There's Mason Fuller right there.
Fuller with a great race here so far. Has really been biding his time. He's driven a good race. No contact. Has been right there behind a couple of people and stayed out of them. Hey, don't go anywhere. We have a lot of racing action yet to go. Stick with us. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We're bringing you all the action here on Speed Sport 1 from the 2023 RC Racing at Visions Off-Road.
Yeah, Mayfield back up at the number 2 spot. Only 8 laps left to go here for these drivers. Ty Tessman out to a 3.5-second lead in this one.
Tessman just getting it done. We talked about him winning here in the last A main, so he would go back-to-back A mains here going back to 2022 if he can hang on here towards the end. 8 laps to go.
Well, and obviously, Ken, the winner of this one is going to be the only one that has a shot at that $5,000 bonus for the clean sweep. So Ty Tessman setting himself up good here if he can hold on to this one. Little bobble there for for Spencer Rivkin as he drops back a bit there from Fuller. Fuller putting the pressure on Ryan Mayfield, though.
Mayfield with a bobble there, one of those holes that's in the track, one of the undulations and ruts that are developing here. And yeah, plenty of pressure right there on Mayfield from Mason Fuller, trying to get back around him. Takes a look at the inside, does not do it.
Fuller's going to try and dive underneath him here. Keep an eye after the drop away. This is going to be where Mason Fuller's going to try and make his move. Fuller's going to sweep wide.
Yeah, he goes outside of that hole that was right there, feeding a little bit of Mayfield's medicine right back to him.
Here they come
Here
back.
he comes.
Fuller's got the inside.
Oh, Mayfield
Fuller
goes for a
sends him
big ride.
tumbling. Wow, Mason Fuller sends Ryan Mayfield tumbling. And I got a feeling that is not going to set well.
We'll see how that shakes down here. We know how it worked out last year with Tessman. And Fuller's starting to drive away now just a bit. The better part of a second between second and third place.
Big mistake for Fuller right there. Rivkin goes to the inside. Rivkin makes the move now. Spencer Rivkin up into the number 2 spot.
Late here with just a couple of laps left inside of this A main number 1. And Fuller giving up a very critical position here from second to third. Right back there, applying pressure. See if he can get it done here. A little bit of time left.
2 laps to go, and Ryan Mayfield is close.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking the entire time. If he gets close, it's going to be on here, and we've got a lap yet to go, lap and some change.
Oh, boy. Here we go.
You know he's got red in his eyes, man.
Everybody keep an eye here on Ryan Mayfield, Mason Fuller. This should get interesting. Oh, Mayfield tumbles at the end of the front stretch, so I think Fuller's at least safe on the track.
Yeah, I don't think Mayfield lost the position there. Had a little bit of room. Fuller now falls back a little bit from Rivkin as well on this final lap.
Well, this driver right here has no idea the chaos going on behind him because he checked out early on. Checkered flag, ladies and gentlemen. Ty Tessman, your Invite Nitro Buggy A main number 1 winner.
He'll have a shot at the overall. Goes back-to-back in A mains here going back to last year. Rivkin hangs on to second, Fuller in third. Mayfield does keep that spot in fourth despite that wreck there right at the very end. Adam Drake, great to have him out here making his debut at Visions. Will end up inside of the top 5 as well. Great battle here as we anticipated, and Mayfield walking off there hoping for better results just did not happen. He'll have to dig deep here in A main number 2.
There you see your race results. Mason Fuller third, Ryan Mayfield fourth. Adam Drake, how about that from way back on the grid, coming up into the number 5 spot. Joe Bornhorst, Cole Ogden, Dakota Finn, Feelong win, and Caden Fuller rounding out your top 10.
All right, once again, we will get it down to Scotty Ernst. He has one of our podium finishers.
Thank you very much, Ken. We're here with Ty Tessman. And Ty, that was an absolute race to the end there. You got able to use advantage of the pole, pull away, but man, that was a long race.
Yeah, it sure felt like a long race, even though it was only 14 minutes. My car felt the best it's been all weekend, so it was super easy to drive, had good pace. Just kind of built that gap and tried to maintain it. Tried not to slow down too much because you can get yourself in trouble if you try to be too cautious sometimes. So just trying to keep a good pace, trying to be easy so I could conserve fuel just to make sure I made it. But yeah, my tires worked awesome, car ran great, engine ran awesome, so couldn't be happier with the first race of the day.
When you were out front, obviously you had clean track in front of you, but could you see in your peripheral the battle that they were having behind you?
Yeah, for sure. I was always paying attention to where I was, gaining or losing. It seemed like kind of like 5 minutes in or so, Mayfield caught back up to me a bit, but then I was able to bridge the gap or expand the gap a bit, and then they all battling back there, which obviously slows down the pack. So I just get a nice, comfortable lead, and try to make the best of my starting positions. And yeah, it's happy with how it started. And just want to thank all my sponsors for all the great support again over the years. They've always been behind me. My parents have been behind me from the start with all his love and support. Most importantly, my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ.
All right, best congratulations to you. Joey's got a big check here for you. $1,500 goes to Ty Tessman. He finished off 2022 with a win in A main number 3, and he's starting out 2023 with a win in A main number 1. Congratulations, Ty Tessman.
Well, Ty Tessman doing exactly what we would expect from somebody that finished second overall a year ago. We'll find out how things play out in the next 2 A mains. Rivkin also doing a solid job finishing up there in second. Mayfield falling down just a little bit. We'll find out how things play out. We've got a lot of racing yet to do with 2 more A mains.
RC Racing at Visions Off-Road is brought to you by ProTech and by Live Race Media.
Welcome back to the 2023 Visions Off-Road. We had a great battle here, very exciting race. Let's get it down to Scotty, who has more from Mason Fuller.
Yeah, I mean, at the start, what was it, Tessman, Mayfield, Rivkin, we were all just neck and neck, I guess, and then you can't really, it's really hard to pass on this track, so for like the first 20 laps, we were just all 1, 2, 3, 4, just trying to pull away from the rest of the pack.
You had a bit of contact there with Mayfield. What's your thoughts on it?
I mean, I think he went wide, and then I just took the opening, and I guess, I don't know. I'll have to rewatch it.
Copy that. Well, best of luck to you in the next 2 rounds.
Thank you.
We just heard Fuller talk about how difficult it is to pass, so let's watch what happens here.
Yeah, let's take a look here. So Ryan Mayfield rotates there. Mason Fuller gets it. Man, I tell you what, that's a tough call. That is a tough call. Ryan Mayfield rotated. He was up ahead of Mason Fuller. Fuller tried to kind of get in there. I don't know where to.
I'll help you out, man. I'll throw my opinion in there because we'll lock the door so Mayfield can't get to us.
There you go. There you go.
But honestly, I thought he went a little bit wide. He did open up the bottom, and I think Fuller saw the bottom. He saw that hole in the bottom. I don't know that he went in there intentionally to hit Mayfield, but Mayfield pitched it in there. If you want to say he backed it in, carried a little bit of momentum, but washed up just a little bit high. Let's watch it here one more time. Maybe I'm wrong, but he's got to run. Fuller's got to run right here. Let's watch Mayfield. Fuller down on the inside. Mayfield pitches it in, backs it in, slides up way high right there, and look at all the room down on the bottom. He's got to come back down. I mean, that is a typical racing incident that happens in every short course off-road race, and guess what? Every single one of them are tough to call. You want to call it a racing incident? I guess you could probably go there as well, but the bottom was certainly open for a brief amount of time.
Yeah, Mayfield, tough luck for him there, but he's working his way back. We'll see how it ends up. Fantastic run for all those drivers.
So, exciting stuff. The games are already on. The gloves are up, baby.
Fireworks
The money is up for grabs. That's why we do this, right? Mayfield also part of the situation with Ty Tessman a year ago and certainly voiced his displeasure. Well, much the same this year. He voiced his displeasure to Mason Fuller as well.
Eric was inside.
Payback's a buddy.
He's back in the gun.
I mean, here, at the end of the day, we're talking about the highest levels of competition. The adrenaline is pumping, man, and it is hard to just walk away. It's hard to just turn it off.
Yep. Yeah, this is going to be an exciting one for sure.
Had a chance to speak with him earlier. He's a passionate dude. There is no doubt about it, about his racing. He is very, very competitive, currently ranked 3rd in the world, 1st in the U.S., a tough player. Finished up 7th overall here 1 year ago, and we had a chance to sit down with him earlier this weekend.
Hi, I'm Ryan Mayfield, 36 years old, from Chandler, Arizona. Been racing for 20 plus years. I race for Techno RC, J Concepts, Hobby Wing, A-Main Hobbies, ProTech, and VP Racing. When we're doing these kind of special events when we're racing for a lot of money, it does change things. It kind of changes the vibe of the race a little bit. Seems like, especially when it's like all heads-up racing. Like everybody's out for blood, everybody's trying to win the money on lap 1 every time we're on the track. And I understand it always interests me because we're always racing for money. We do this professionally. We make bonus money all the time. But for whatever reason, when it's like, you know you're going to get a big check right then after the main, it just bumps up the pressure, makes the atmosphere a little more, competitive. And yeah, I don't know. It's always interesting. It kind of makes it cool, makes it fun. But at the end of the day, we all race each other hard, try to keep it as respectful as possible, and you know, have a beer with each other afterwards. Who do I think is the best driver here? With just straight outright pace is most likely Dakota Fend. I think I have maybe slightly better racecraft in a long main event as far as just like being able to run the same exact lap every single time. But he's actually doing that nowadays too. So I know when I come to a race, I'm shooting for Dakota. And honestly, I'm shooting for whoever's in front of me. But Dakota's been really fast lately.
We've got a lot of action still coming your way. Stay with us. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Mid-America Outdoors here in Jay, Oklahoma, located just outside of Tulsa. And we're going to kick things off here with our first of 3 A-mains for our Invitational class. It's 15 vehicles strong. We had 4 people bump up into this Invitational category. We spent Thursday practicing, we spent Friday qualifying, and today is all about A-mains. We're going to hand out a ton of money along the way.
It's been a fantastic week on and off the RC track, and I think this is a big opportunity for not only the RC racers to be involved in an event like this, but also for the off-road industry to kind of see what RC racing is all about.
Each one of these 3 A-mains, $1,500 is going to the winner. If you win the overall, it's a $5,000 payday. If you happen to win all 3 A-mains, it's a $5,000 bonus. There's $14,500 up for grabs here for RC racing, Mike. It's a big day.
And we are off and underway. Invite Nitro Buggy A-main number 1.
Mayfield with a little bit of breathing room again as Lutz has fallen back just a bit.
Lutz is pushing so hard right now, and I don't think he's got it unless Mayfield makes a mistake here. Mayfield looks to have a clear win. Down the straight they go, and Ryan Mayfield is your A-main number 1 winner.
How about that? So he wins the qualifier, starts off on the pole here today, and will grab the first A-main win. It is on. Looks like Scotty Ernst down there with him to go. What a great race, Scotty.
Oh man, that was absolutely fantastic, Ryan. You've been in battles your entire career. It doesn't get any more intense than that.
Yeah, that was, you can see my hands. It's, the track's so gnarly, man. I mean, we're driving at 110% the whole time. I was just trying to get in a rhythm in the beginning and just find my flow, and it was super fun, but my heart is pounding. I'm shaking up here, and hats off to Ryan Lutz. He drove an awesome race, and like you said, I've been in, world championships event, main events my whole life, and that 15 minutes was probably the most intense I've ever driven.
Cars are up, they are down and quiet, and off and underway. Here we go, A-main number 2, Invite Nitro Buggy.
Kind of settling down here just a little bit, and another tough moment here. This time, I think that was Mayfield again.
It was indeed Mayfield coming off that, hitting a hole there, just chunky, huge hole out of the track, a big rock right there. And Mayfield appears to be broke. The front left on Mayfield is broke. He is out of this race, and his chance at that $5,000 bonus is over. This, ladies and gentlemen, is going to be a career highlight, no doubt, for Jared Wiggins, the Techno RC driver, as he was working his way around here.
The Wizard, Jared Wiggins, looking to pick up a very prestigious win here in his career.
No!
And he just folded up. Did he cross the stripe?
Not yet.
He
He's
did. The same time and scoring says, oh, he was right there at it. Time and scoring says he put 40 laps in. We think he won this race and picks up $1,500. It was nice and calm there for the longest time, and Jared Wiggins gave us quite the scare at the very end.
Thought that might have been the end, but fortunately I think I had about 10 seconds, so Sean ran over and got me like this far before the line and got me back on track and ended up getting the win, so yeah, happy, super happy.
Welcome to Mid-America Outdoors. We're here in Jay, Oklahoma for RC Racing at Visions Off-Road presented by A-Main Hobbies. It is time for our 3rd and final A-Main. Sean Miller, our official race starter out there, tells us to pick them up. They're all running, puffing a little bit of smoke. He'll tell them to set them down. We'll go quiet for just a second, and then it is on for 40 laps. Here we go.
40 lap race here. Looks like a good clean start.
Ty Tessman going to lead us out, the X-Ray driver out of Canada. Ryan Mayfield right there behind him. We got Spencer Rivkin in the number 3 spot, the Team Associated driver. Tessman has made the move now, and Ryan Mayfield drops back to the number 2 spot. This is incredible racing with 9 laps left to go.
Oh, and right there, another crash.
There looks like Mayfield got the short of the stick on that one. Tessman takes over the lead here in this one. Unbelievable.
Boy, the fact that they all got
and
together
Mayfield is
crashed
out of this one. Ryan Mayfield is out of the race. Unbelievable turn of events right there. That is Ryan Mayfield's car being carried off. The white flag is out. 1 lap left to go here for Ty Tessman.
Currently sitting at 59 points. Jared Wiggins at 56 points. One more time. Set up turn number 9 and out across the stripe cleanly this time. No tumbling. An awesome job by Ty Tessman. He will win the last A main, and he will win with it.
Frustration of words right now. But
let's see who finishes third. It's a battle still. We got Wiggins getting by Tebow on the last lap for third. Maybe Tebow letting by. Who knows? For position.
And as we were calling the end of that race, we're watching live timing and scoring, and it was updating. Once Jared Wiggins crossed in 3rd place, though, he actually surpassed Ty Tessman for the overall by 1 point. A special weekend for Jared Wiggins. You said that A main that he won previously, probably the biggest in his career, and then to come out of here with the overall, what a special day. The Wizard, Jared Wiggins out of Mesquite, Texas, ended up 1st overall. We'll be back in just a moment with more racing.
RC Racing at Visions Off-Road is brought to you by A-Main Hobbies and by HPI Racing.
Once again, we're back here at this beautiful complex known as Mid-America Outdoors for the 2023 RC Racing at Visions Off-Road. Starting grid, we'll show you our starting grid here with, how about that, young Phi-Long Nguyen. We saw him pick up that win, obviously, in the second heat race 1 day ago. Great job for the young man. He did make the show. He bumped in 2022, ranked 19th in the U.S., and we had a chance to spend some time with young Phi-Long Nguyen.
Hi, my name is Phi-Long Nguyen, and I'm 12. They usually call me Yoda Bump, and I'm from Louisiana, and my main sponsor is HB Racing. And usually I've been racing for about 4 years. Lately I have been to big races and driven with top guys in the world, and I have been very happy to drive with them and nervous. Well, just have fun. That's it. As you can see, I drive a stick radio, and it's different from everybody else. The reason that I drive the stick radio is because the regular radio, I couldn't reach the trigger or the brakes. I do this racing with my dad, and I feel happy and thankful that he does it for me, and that we're having fun, and that's all it's about. I think the best driver here is probably Dakota Fan or Ryan Mayfield. Maybe Tessman, but I think the Dakota Fan.
Perfect. You did great.
That only took 20 tries.
Yeah, but that's okay. You should see me sometimes, Pete.
That is great stuff, man. We love having him here, and as we talked about, grabbed that heat race win, and really cool for somebody like Ryan Mayfield, a highly ranked world-class driver, to walk over and shake the young man's hand. And, the veterans love to see the sport change over, and the young guns come in here. And at 12 years of age, he's already playing ball with these guys. He's going to be a tough one to beat.
Oh, absolutely. A little changing of the guard there, you might say. And it was I love his honesty. Fee's honesty as a young kid, especially when Scotty interviewed him at that last race. He said, "What do you have to say about that race you just won?" He said, "Nothing. I got nothing to say."
The innocence of a babe,
yeah,
right? He's like, here's what I'm thinking. And here are the results for race number 1. Ty Tessman, Spencer Rivkin, Mason Fuller, Ryan Mayfield, and Adam Drake round out the top 5. Joe Bornhorst, Cole Ogden, Dakota Fend, Phelong Nguyen, and Caden Fuller all inside of the top 10. And for the final 15, Jared Wiggins, Ethan Mechanic, Camden Lime, Brandon Rose, and Jared Tebow.
Well, again, obviously, all these drivers are great. Going to be great to watch. Phelong Nguyen, he did a fantastic job yesterday, but Ryan Mayfield starting second. He's going to be the one to watch in this race. And with Jared not here off the grid, Mason starts right behind it.
So we'll keep an eye on Ryan Mayfield here, of course, starting off in that second position right there behind Phelong Nguyen. And we'll hone in on Mr. Ryan Mayfield. As we just heard from him, I mean, as big as they come. I mean, he was ranked number 1 in the world whenever we were here last year. And, of course, ranked number 3 now. Always a top competitor. Anytime he shows up, a threat to win. See him up there ready to rock and roll here. Phelong Nguyen never bobbled. He had the pressure of a Ryan Mayfield behind him and brought it across the stripe in front.
He sure did. It was cool yesterday to see Ryan Mayfield head over to, and a lot of those guys congratulating Phelong Nguyen on his big win yesterday in the qualifier heat race. And he is definitely going to be one to watch for many years to come here in the RSC industry, I've got a feeling. And here we're looking at Ryan Mayfield as they take their warm-up laps and get set to bring him in to line him up for invite race number 2. Ty Tessman, of course, took the win in invite number 1, but Ty, he's got his work cut out for him to go for that 3-race sweep as he is starting 13th on the grid.
Woo! A lot of positions to pass there. Some really tough players on a track that clearly has been tough to pass on. So having a clean sweep here is going to be a tall order today, but never say never when it comes to racing.
Yeah, well, we're on the chest cam there with the King, Richard Saxton, pit guy and mechanic for Spencer Rivkin. We saw Rivkin early on as well.
And Scotty Ernst, you can see him standing down there at the starting line in the middle of the front straightaway. Let's get it down there to Scotty.
All right, thank you very much, guys. We appreciate it. It's time for showtime number 2, A main number 2. Last round's winner, Ty Tessman, all the way in the back of the grid. As we roll to the front, we got Ryan Mayfield starting in the number 2 spot. Phelong is going to start on pole. It's going to be very exciting. Starting spot is everything here at Visions 2023. Back to you, Ken and Mike.
Thanks a lot, Scotty. 0.21 cubic inches, 2.8 to 3 horsepower, 3,200 grams, better part of 7 pounds there. About 40 miles an hour inside of these cars. And, of course, burning nitromethane. The split there, about 30% or so nitro, 8% oil, 62% methanol. So work all those numbers in there together. That'll help you out to know a little bit more about these cars, of course. They are incredible machines. And we're ready to start A main number 2.
Here we go. Joey Christensen starting us off here with this one. Cars are down and quiet, and we are off and underway. Into the first turn we go. You
2 or 3 wide. A couple of cars going up and wide, and a mayhem here on the starting opening lap.
Ty Tessman getting caught up that. Adam Drake caught up in there. Cole Ogden as well.
And everybody somehow ending back on all fours and able to stay on the throttle and get going here once again. Phelong Nguyen, the young phenom there. Young phenom, I will say. And it looks like he's already been passed. It looks like Ryan Mayfield may have got the best of him.
So Ryan Mayfield right there just kind of did a similar move that Mason Fuller put on him earlier on Fee. Fee didn't get tumbling, but he put a wheel in on him, gave him a bump, and bumped him out of the line and took it over. So Ryan Mayfield, as his clothing line through J Concepts would say, no apologies. He's coming through.
Yeah, it's race time, man. The money's on the line. Mayfield driving away here early on, looking for some clean track. We'll go back to 30-lap race here, mandatory pit stop. Well, of course, at this distance, they're going to have to make one. And Phelong Nguyen coming right back. How about that?
Yeah, Fee not letting him out of his sight right now. Looks like Mason Fuller up into the number 3 spot, chasing him down. Joe Bornhorst up into the number 4 spot now. Joe's going to be one to keep an eye on. And, of course, Spencer Rivkin. The one we got to look for, Ty Tessman, buried in the pack right now in the 10th place spot.
Well, and I think we have to talk about Mason Fuller, right? He had a great finish there, 1 round to go. And Fuller getting under attack here by Joe Bornhorst.
Talked to Joe a little bit earlier today. Oh, trouble there for Phelong Nguyen.
Goes for a tumble.
Talked to Joe a little bit earlier today. Joe feeling very comfortable with the S-Works cars here this weekend. Trying to put the pressure on Mason Fuller. So now this is 2 and 3. Ryan Mayfield trying to stretch out his lead just a bit here in this one.
Bornhorst into third. Rivkin will be up into the number 4 spot, and I believe Jared Wiggins made it up into 5.
I think we have to think about Fuller being the overall leader going into this final A main. I know this is early on in this one right now, but with a solid finish there in that first A and right up front here again in second place in this second A, if he can hang on to this spot, as I say, a long ways to go in this one, but he'd be looking good for the overall come A main number 3.
No, you're absolutely right. I think that's something that we got to keep in mind here for this one. Ty Tessman still buried back in the pack in the 10th place spot. He's not moving up very quickly here in this one. So Ryan Mayfield, Mason Fuller looking good 1 and 2. Joe Bornhorst makes a mistake. Rivkin going to be right there behind him. Rivkin not able to make the move though.
Rivkin relentless though in that first A main. Was able to really apply a lot of pressure. We'll see if he can do the same thing here to Joe.
But here they come back down the front stretch. Keep an eye on Rivkin after the drop away. That's where Rivkin makes up his time. An instant replay here.
Opening lap chaos. And how everybody got, look at everybody crashing. They all end up on all fours and get going again without a single assistance from anybody.
Yeah, the one that got the short of the stick on that one, Adam Drake, tumbling all the way down the hill into oncoming lane, had to jump all the way back over a couple lanes to get back going. He has worked his way up in the 10th spot now, just behind Ty Tessman in 9th.
Phelan Nguyen has really tumbled, starting off on the pole and has fallen all the way down to 11th place.
Tough luck here for Phelan Nguyen.
He struggled here a year ago after bumping in as well in the A mains, was never able to get inside of the top 10, just did not work out for him. Was hoping he'd have a really good showing here. But so it goes. How about Mayfield? Mayfield out there doing what Mayfield does. He gets some clean air now, has 4-second gap over himself and Fuller. A vicious race already as we watch the absolute best chase this big dollar here at the end of the day. It's the middle of race number 2 with race 3 yet to go. A lot of racing that's very important. And we welcome you back here to Jay, Oklahoma. We're at Mid-America Outdoors. 30 grand on the line. We're about the midway point of the program with 3 A mains here in the middle of this second A main, and it looks like Ryan Mayfield has shown up. He's ready to make some noise here. Ty Tessman, though, keep your eyes on him. He's been digging up from the 13th position, picking his way forward. He wants to be a player here as well going into that final A.
As you can see, Fuller under attack here from Joe Bornhorst, and they got Spencer Rivkin coming out behind him. Rivkin's going to be another one when it comes to that overall that we got to keep an eye on, because Rivkin had a good first run as well in A main number 1.
Yeah, and with Mayfield being out front, I mean, Mayfield was there inside of the top 5 in that first A main, out front here, so he's going to be right there as well going into that final A main if he can hang on to this position. Again, a long ways to go. As you take a look at second, third, and fourth there, just below our live time and scoring.
Yeah, and Rivkin starting to put the pressure on Joe Bornhorst now. Bornhorst kind of caught right in the middle. He's got Mason Fuller just ahead of him, Rivkin right behind him. He's trying to play defense and offense. Oh, Rivkin tumbles. So now Bornhorst can take a deep breath and put all of his focus towards Mason Fuller up ahead of him instead of worrying about Rivkin there behind him. 19 laps left to go here in this one. Ryan Mayfield trying to check out. Looking for an A main number 2 win.
Little gap there, puts a little bit of distance there on Joe, making his first appearance here at Visions. S-Works factory driver looking for a breakout win here in 2023. Ranked 13th in the world, 6th in the U.S. Yeah, and he is right there, man. He is just waiting for one bobble from Fuller. Mayfield just ahead now.
Yeah, back around on that right-hand side. Mayfield may have made his pit stop that last time by.
It was checking over there. Do not have a time for that, but it is possible. Showing a last lap at 27.4. That would not indicate it. We'll see what the next lap says.
Oh, that looks like to be Cole Ogden just ahead of him there. Ogden going to be trying to keep from going a lap down.
If Mayfield was able to make a pit stop and get back out in front, would be spectacular. Last I checked, he had about a 4-second lead. That would be a pretty amazing in and out effort. The delta on pit road as well. with the pit stops averaging about 6 seconds or so. A couple of fast ones down in the 5-second range.
Oh, mistake there for Mason Fuller. Bumps the pipe just a bit. Joe Bornhorst trying to close that gap up on him. Not going to be quite close enough to capitalize on it, though. Through the drop away they go.
Bornhorst not going anywhere, man. He is there. Keeps applying that pressure on Fuller. Like a lap car up there in front of him.
15 laps left to go here for these drivers. This time by the line. Ryan Mayfield still out front. Great shot there by Mayfield, in and out for fuel. Looks like Bornhorst in and out for fuel as well.
Bornhorst with a pit stop there, 6.9 seconds. 6.6 seconds for Ty Tessman. How about Tessman making it up into 5th place?
Yeah, Tessman
going to work his way right back into being a threat here in that last day.
Absolutely. We were so focused on these top 3 drivers right now, we didn't even notice as Ty is chipping away at it, and that's no easy task here this weekend. There's your race leader, Ryan Mayfield, as he works his way down the back stretch over the drop away.
Yeah, that is the one. I mean, this is the A main for Tessman. Starting off in the 13th position, you've got to pass a lot of cars here, and he's been able to do that.
Dakota Finn making his way up into the mix as well. I don't know if Finn has made his pit stop yet. And, you know, it's interesting to see all the drivers coming in this. When we interviewed them, they said, who's your biggest competition? They all kind of said, well, Dakota. Dakota's kind of had a little bit of an
Here
off
comes
weekend.
Dakota right now. It's like he's going to duck into the pits and do a refuel, and I was thinking that same exact thing. He's tucked in behind 2 really fast guys. He caught them. It was going to be difficult to pass them. Come in, get your fuel, get away from that pack, get out there and see if you can get some clean laps in and maybe beat them whenever they come into the pits.
Once again, that battle here between Mason Fuller and Joe Bornhorst. They got Cole Ogden just ahead of him there. He's going to be a lap down. Ogden in the 14th place spot.
Still Mayfield out front, 27 flat, as you can take a look at the lap times and put a couple of tenths of a second there on Fuller. All of these guys running lap times literally within a couple of tenths of each other. Bornhorst down there, of course, battling with Fuller, still puts a 27.38 on the board. Behind him, Rivkin, a 27.19. Now Bornhorst goes at 26.9. Getting after Fuller. However, Fuller went at 27.1. So the top 3 drivers there, all literally within a tenth of a second there in lap time, and a big ride right there for Joe.
That's a tough break right there for Joe Bornhorst, as he was right there with Mason Fuller. That's going to allow Ty Tessman and Spencer Rivkin, though, possibly to move up into the 3rd and 4th place spots here. We'll wait and see when they come around to the line. As you can see, Fuller now.
There it is. Tessman now up into the top 4.
10 laps left to go here. Can Ty Tessman move up any further in this one? And there he goes right there. Tries to make a move on Rivkin. They just about collide. Rivkin in the number 3 spot. Ty Tessman right there behind him in the 4. Here they go, up and over the short double.
I got to tell you, if he can get up into 3rd place, I think he would still have low score here of everybody going into that final A main.
Rivkin bumped the inside pipe a bit. Here comes Tessman. Tessman's going to shoot up the outside. Watch this. He's cutting under right here.
He's got a hot rod, man. That thing is on. Right on the wing.
You got to admire the ability of these guys to drive so close to one another and not get collected up.
Things really shaking out here in the middle of the A main. Number 2. Who's going to win this thing? It's going to be extremely important. More racing when we return.
RC Racing at Visions Off-Road is brought to you by Live Time and by Live RC.
Welcome back to the 2023 RC Racing at Visions Off-Road here at Mid-America Outdoors.
Ty Tessman falling back just a little bit there.
8 laps to go here. We'll see if he can close the gap back up. Rivkin, no slouch for sure. Did not bobble underneath all of that pressure. Never opened up the door. Mayfield still out front. Followed up by Mason Fuller. Joe Bornhorst, unfortunately, going for a big ride there, was in 3rd place, applying pressure on Mason Fuller for pretty much the entire race. But had that mistake, went for a big ride. Rivkin and Tessman took advantage of it and jumped up a spot. Here we go again.
Yeah, Tessman all over the back door right now of Rivkin.
Clearly the faster car, right? Able to close up that gap a couple of times.
Rivkin getting up on 2 wheels. Oh, what a save for Ty Tessman. He goes up on 2 wheels, catches the back of Rivkin.
Joe Bornhorst now on the wing of Tessman. Tessman gets going here one more time. So Bornhorst picks up one of those spots that he lost, but Tessman is the one.
Nope.
Did Bornhorst just get around Tessman?
He did. Bornhorst has made his way past Tessman. I did not see what happened. I'll be curious to see exactly how that went down. So Joe Bornhorst back up into the number 3 spot now.
Yeah, excellent job here. Of course, out clear the first 2 players of Mayfield and Fuller, but quite a battle going on here for 3rd and 4th.
4 laps left to go, Ken.
I mean, Tessman was in position to have a 4-point score going into the final A main. Now we'll have a score of 5, so we'll have a couple of players in there right around that number.
Yeah, Ty is pushing hard here with only 4 laps left to go, trying to chase down Joe Bornhorst.
See if we can find out what happened here, Mike.
All right, let's take a look at here. Looks like Bornhorst, cuts gives him the wing right there. Bornhorst spinning
Now
Tessman
that
out.
might be a booth review, right? I mean, that one's a good bit different than what we saw before between Fuller and Mayfield.
Joe Bornhorst, no love right there for Ty. Ty's right behind him, though. 3 laps left to go.
For our producer that was talking about bumpers, that's a bumper. That's giving somebody a bumper right there.
That's a bumper, yes. Here we go. I got a feeling, though, Ty's going to retaliate. He's going to be close enough into the 180 corners we go. Here comes Ty. Ty switchbacks.
See if he feeds a little bit back. Does he keep it clean? Ooh. In your racing career, as we watch out here just a couple of laps to go, have you seen those spots given back by the booth?
It's rare. It is rare, but it does happen from time to time. I don't know if that one in these circumstances is going to be enough to turn that around. That's a tough one. That's a tough call.
Joe hanging on here. Winding them down.
Oh, he had the spot right there to give it to him. Oh, there it is. Ty Tessman, a beautiful
was
pass.
Was that Fuller?
Right there.
That was Mason Fuller that spun out. They just both passed him, and Ty Tessman gets around. Ty Tessman goes to 2nd.
Unbelievable.
A first place finish in 2nd. If anything happens to Mayfield here, he has a shot at a sweep.
Oh, Bornhorst makes a mistake. Ty Tessman up into the number 2 spot from 13th on the grid. A phenomenal drive right now.
Mayfield out, and I believe just crossed the stripe here. That is 30 laps. Ryan Mayfield's going to grab the win here. Ty Tessman, next one in line, and he's going to cross the stripe in 2nd from 13th place. What a spectacular effort there out of Ty Tessman. We will not have a clean sweep, nor the bonus that goes with it, but boy, Ty Tessman is looking pretty coming in to this final A main. And I'm not sure where he starts there, but given the fact that he started in the front and then in the back, I would say somewhere in about the middle of that A main is where he's going to start this 3rd A main.
Wow, what a turn of events right there. That was insane.
Great racing. And, I mean, everybody has pretty much documented that it's going to be tough to pass out here. Ty Tessman just did it from 13th to 2nd. Great stuff here. And some great racing back in there as well for Tessman, obviously picking forward, but Joe Bornhorst and Rivkin and Mason Fuller, all of those really scrapping hard there all along the way. Ryan Mayfield getting around Feelong Win the very beginning of this race and then checked out.
Look at our results here. Ryan Mayfield with the win. Ty Tessman 2nd. Joe Bornhorst 3rd. Spencer Rivkin, Mason Fuller, Dakota Finn, Adam Drake, Jared Wiggins, Camden Lime, Caden Fuller, Ethan Mechanic, Feelong Win, Cole Ogden, Brandon Rose rounding out your field there in that one. What a race for Invite Nitro Buggy A main number 2.
And once again, we're going to get it down there to Scotty Ernst. He's with our winner.
Thank you very much, Ken. Appreciate it. We're here with Ryan Mayfield. And Ryan, you stood in a long 45 minutes, but these sprint races, they're seriously intense.
Yeah, that was a good one. Started second in the first main and just couldn't capitalize on that starting position. Ended up 4th in that one, and this one I just came up here with a little different attitude. Like, you just got to capitalize. When you start that close to the front, you got to try to win them. So that's what I did. I started, got into Fee a little bit on the beginning there. He went a little wide, gave him a little love tap. You know, he kept going, got around him, and then just focused forward. And I made a tire change that time, little smaller pin tire, and the car was a lot faster than it was in A1. So I was able to cruise around. Fuel mileage is obviously a concern with everybody, so I was able to cruise around the track the whole time, basically quarter throttle, and just really conserve fuel as much as I could. And car felt great. That was probably one of the best cars I've driven in a long time. Did everything I needed it to do, and I can't thank everybody enough. Techno, J Concepts, A-Main Hobbies, ProTech RC. You know, without these guys, we wouldn't be here doing this.
Copy that. Well done. Good job. Go get him in round 3.
Appreciate you.
All right, but meantime, Joey's got a big check here. $1,500 goes to Ryan Mayfield.
So Scotty down there getting in touch with our winner. Congratulations to Ryan Mayfield on a great effort there. Mayhem there on the opening lap of A-Main number 2 for the invite category. And then, of course, some tough racing in the back there for Bornhorst, who went for a ride, Fuller, who went for a ride deep, Testament picking up some spots along the way. It was definitely on there for 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. That concludes A-Main number 2. We'll be right back with more. Once again, we're back here at this beautiful complex known as Mid-America Outdoors for the 2023 RC Racing at Visions Off-Road. As on any race team, of course, the mechanics, your pit, your crew members are extremely important. And RC racing, it's absolutely no different. In the heat of the action, there's no room for error when you need to send your car into the mechanic. Tight quarters and a ton of noise make pit lane a chaotic place to be, but it sure helps if you have somebody you can trust in the trenches. Some drivers rely on trusted friends. Some even have their parents lend a hand. Driver Jared Wiggins? Well, he has a reliable teammate in his girlfriend, Katie Roxbury. So reliable, in fact, that they took home the championship last year, and now they're back for more.
I'd say we've been a team for about three years now. I mean, I started pitting for him before we were even together, when we were just racing locally together a little bit. So
about 3 years, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of things that you have to think about as a mechanic, as a pit guy down there in pit lane. Like, one of the things that's crucial is like what direction the car is coming into pit lane as well. Like, pit lane is backwards for me right now because I'm right-handed. So I have to catch the car with my right hand and fuel with my left rather than catching with my left hand and fueling with my right. Another thing is making sure that we have good communication prior to him going up on the stands, like when to come in, when to call him in, when to pit.
We've been kind of doing the same thing in most of the races, and it's been working well. You know, obviously the racing's always difficult. You never know what's going to happen, but hopefully we're prepared and ready to go.
Yeah, I feel good. There's not really any big disagreements between us on the track, especially. I mean, I do whatever he's comfortable with, so if he's more comfortable with using a certain, you know, fuel gun over the other, then, I mean, as long as he has peace of mind when he's driving up the stands is important.
Yeah, it's a pretty critical part. Me not having to worry, like, you got to kind of keep it professional, like we're here to pit, we're here to race.
I think the best part of working, I mean, we have pretty good communication, honestly. We work together well, I think.
Yeah, it's just nice. I mean, go home and I can talk to my girlfriend about my racing and she's actually interested. So, no, I love it. It works great. We work together well.
Yeah.
So a word there from the reigning champ who won the Roar Nats warm-up and the icebreaker in Nitro Buggy, was second there at Lone Star. And take a good look at the drivers that are up there. And, of course, Katie, who was just out there as well a moment ago, did such a great job right to the very end, and unfortunately a mistake and a flame out there. But great people. Great to have them back out here as well. We want to focus on the #1 ranked man in the world. He's known as the Phenom. Dakota Finn, at 25 years of age, is back out here, back-to-back national champion, and making his debut here at Visions. We had a chance to speak with him earlier today.
My name is Dakota Fend, 26 years old. I grew up in Michigan and now live in Indiana. Sponsored by Team Losi Racing, Ultimate, J Concepts, Trinity, Spectrum, Horizon Hobby, Beach RC, Nitro Lux, Stick It One Racing, and Bradley Fine Line Designs. I wasn't here last year, but I was able to watch, and this will be my first year here racing. So last year looked like a lot of fun, very exciting racing, and really just a cool overall event in general. So excited to be here and have a good time. Racing at the Visions race for money with the actual prize pool is a little bit different than normal. Typically we're just racing for contingency for the sponsors, so this makes Visions a little bit unique as there's actually a prize money on the line from the actual event itself. It's been pretty cool to be ranked #1 in the world now recently on the top 25. It's been a really long process. The last 2 years have just been an uphill battle. We started out pretty low down and just had some mechanicals and some races that just didn't go well. So they've been slowly dropping off and been replaced with good results. So it's pretty cool to see all the hard work paying off from myself and just from the whole team in general. It's a big undertaking from everyone involved. So it's cool just to see it paying off, and we're just gonna try and keep it rolling. Coming here, I definitely feel like I have a little bit of a target on my back. It's part of racing. When you're having a good season, a good couple years, you know, everyone's gunning for you, and that's part of racing. The level keeps getting raised higher and higher, and you know, someone will find something special and be on that top level, and then everyone else is working hard catching up, and it's just a never-ending cycle. We just came off the U.S. Nationals a couple weeks ago. We ran 2 classes there, the truck and buggy class. Truck class had some really unfortunate luck there in the end. Last minute or so had a mechanical, but was able to limp it home and still end up with a podium finish. It was definitely frustrating for me and the team to have that happen so late on in the main event after how well it had been going. We were able to kind of turn around, bounce back, get our heads back in the game, and come out in buggy swinging, and come home with the U.S. National Championship in that. And yeah, it's been awesome. It was cool to go back-to-back on that in 2022 and now 2023 as well. It's definitely interesting telling people that I've met, you know, what I do for a living. Racing RC cars is definitely a unique profession that not a lot of people are fortunate enough to be able to do. So yeah, it's always interesting having that conversation, trying to explain it all and stuff. I found just the easiest way, just, you know, hey, you know, pop on YouTube, watch a video and stuff, and kind of explain it that way. But yeah, it's cool. I enjoy it. I did this as a passion growing up, and I was fortunate enough it turned into something. So I'll take it, and just enjoying the road while I can. This weekend, my wife is going to be pitting me in the Nitro Buggy class, so it's always a good time being able to do it, you know, as a family and enjoy the hobby together. You know, she grew up in the industry as well, just like myself, and it's cool to have her here, and we make a good team. And you know, when the time comes, we're able to go out there and make it happen and do our best. Who do I feel is the best racer here? I'm going to have to say myself. I think at this level, you have to believe in yourself. You have to believe in your ability and your program, and know that when the time comes, you know, you have all the tools to be able to make it happen.
Great to spend some time there with the Phenom as you take a look at him. Considered one of the fastest, most naturally talented racers in the world. It is great to have Dakota Fend out here with us this year. Of course, he was watching from home 1 year ago, so we had a chance to talk to him and ask him what he thought about some of the shenanigans that went on in 2022.
All right, so speaking of divisions race, we had some drama between Mayfield and Tessman. A lot of people say it's because of money. I don't know. I think it's just because you guys don't want to lose to each other.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely happens. You know, stuff happens, and it gets heated in the moment. I mean, you know, people get into it, whether it's going to be the Visions race or a different race, and unfortunately, it's part of racing, and it happens, and it's going to, you know, continue to happen, you know, here and there. So, yeah.
So what did you think when you saw it?
Yeah, I mean, you know, obviously everyone has their opinion. I mean, everything happens so fast, so it's easy to go back and talk about it and stuff. You know, I think that it definitely was avoidable on both parts, you know, for multiple reasons. But yeah, it is what it is. It happened, and you know, they did what they did, and yeah, we're on to the next race. So I mean, we race each other every weekend, so we all have to be smart and try to make passes as clean as possible. And you know, like I said, we're racing each other every weekend, so it gets pretty hectic out there, and definitely something to think about.
It's one of the biggest events of the year right here at Mid-America Outdoors. We've got a lot of action still coming your way. Stay with us.
RC Racing at Visions Off-Road is brought to you by A-Main Hobbies and by HPI Racing.
Welcome back to 2023 RC Racing at Visions Off-Road, sponsored by A-Main Hobbies and HPI Racing. Appreciate all their support. Once again, Tekin, VP Fuels, Team Associated, and Lifetime, also associated sponsors as well. We appreciate that. One race yet to go here, ladies and gentlemen. It is our third and final Invite A-Main, and the top two players here are going to come down to a couple of big dogs. Ty Tessman has been absolutely on fire, won the first A-Main, started 13th in the second A-Main, worked his way up to second. He'll be squaring off against Ryan Mayfield. They will actually start right in line with each other, 5th and 6th. So Ty Tessman with 3 points, Ryan Mayfield 5 points, and of course, you can't help but think about 1 year ago when things got a bit heated. Ty Tessman won the last race of the 2022 Visions event, but that win didn't come easy, and Ryan Mayfield let him hear about the tactics.
Luck's gonna finish second in that one. Let's see who finished third. It's a battle. Wiggins getting by Tebow on the last lap for third. Tebow left by, who knows, for position.
Spencer done. All are finished. Mason Fuller done.
These two professionals are just that, professionals. They've since reconciled and are happy to move on from the incident.
There's some tempers and stuff, some stuff that was pretty exciting for the viewers, I think.
I kind of got in his face and probably went over the line a little bit, but we're racing for a lot of money. There was a lot of emotions flying around, and I was just kind of waiting there hoping that he would at least acknowledge the situation and be like, hey, I don't know whose fault that was.
And I respected his wishes for trying not to come in contact with him too much, because that's what he asked for here. But eventually, he did come over. We had a conversation. We discussed, we apologized to each other, and kind of just made good again. So that did go on a little bit longer maybe than other times, but it definitely didn't affect how we raced on the track. It's just in the pits we were kind of different from each other just for a few races until we finally figured it out and discussed it, sat down, and kind of cleared the air, I guess you could say.
It is what it is. When there's money on the line, which there is every weekend we race, but for whatever reason, when there's an actual cash prize on the line, emotions are high. So we worked it out now. We talked it out. We were in Spain, and I pulled him aside. We had a little conversation.
As far as it comes this year, we're not holding any grudges against each other. Everything is forgotten about, and we're moving forward. That's kind of how the racing industry works, is you maybe have a problem with someone in the one race, but by the time the next race comes, the time's healed all wounds, and you just kind of start fresh and try not to hold any grudges and just race the guy like you would anybody else.
We're all good, and we're here to race again. Try, hopefully that doesn't happen again, but if it does, it is what it is.
As Ty Tessman said, time heals all wounds. Or does it? Well, they will be put to the test here, starting nose to tail with each other. Both of them in the hunt for the overall. We don't want to eliminate some of the other drivers that certainly have a shot at this as well. Spencer Rivkin, he's going to start off second and has a total of 6 points, comes in here third overall as it stands right now after 2 A mains complete. So he's going to have a real shot at that as well. And Mason Fuller will start a little bit deeper behind Dakota Fend. He'll be in the 8th hole and currently has 8 points. So Joe Bornhorst also 9 points there. So we'll see how things shake down here. Again, it's going to be a long race. 30 laps, if I'm not mistaken here, I believe is what we had there in the first two. So here's a look at how they will start off on the pole. Ranked 8th in the world and 8th in the nation from Covington, Georgia. This is Cole Ogden. Next is Spencer Rivkin, ranked 14th in the world and 5th in the nation. He's a 2-time world champion from Surprise, Arizona. Then it's the godfather of Nitro Racing with 30 years of experience, Adam Drake. Next up, ranked 19th in the U.S., driving for HB, is Fee Long Nguyen. Then one of the best on the planet, ranked 3rd in the world, 1st in the country from Chandler, Arizona, Ryan Mayfield. Our next driver is a former world champ, ranked 6th in the world and 7th in the nation, Ty Tessman. Starting 7th is a back-to-back national champion, ranked 1st in the world, 2nd in the nation, Dakota Fend. Starting 8th and driving for HB Racing, ranked 7th in the world and 4th in the nation, Mason Fuller. Next up is the defending champion of this event from Mesquite, Texas, Jared Wiggins. Making his first appearance here at Visions, ranked 13th in the world and 6th in the nation, Joe Bornhorst. Coming to us from Shippensburg, Pennsylvania, and starting 11th, Ethan Mechanic. Starting off in the 12th position, driving for S-Works out of Peoria, Arizona, Camden Lime. Coming to us from Houston, Texas, ranked 23rd in the world and in the top 10 in the nation, Brandon Rose. And to round up the field, from Grimes, Iowa, ranked 37th in the world, Caden Fuller.
Yeah, this is going to be an exciting race, no doubt about it. And like you say, got to keep an eye on, they're leading the points right now. Ty Tessman is your points leader.
Ryan Mayfield in that number 2 spot. Those two guys starting together. Obviously, they say they put everything behind him from last year and everything, but once again, that's got to be in the back of the mind just a little bit. And Ryan Mayfield isn't the happiest guy right now after a few little tangle-ups in A1 there, and may have had a little contact there in A2 as well.
So I'm with you. Racers have really good memories when it comes to racing incidents, and I applaud those guys for saying that they put it behind them, and Ty Tessman might have put it behind him. Mayfield, I promise you it's still in the back of his mind somewhere. So if something does flare up, it will immediately have an impact on this, because there will be no love lost instantly. And retaliation, I can see being a part of that program depending on just how bad it gets.
No, you're absolutely right. And like you say, Spencer Rivkin right here, he's going to be starting second in this one. I've got a good feeling Spencer Rivkin could very well come away with the win here in this main. He's starting in a great spot. He's got Cole Ogden right ahead of him, and Cole could pull away with this one as well. Cole hasn't had exactly the weekend he's looking for, but he's got the talent for sure.
With that, the final race is coming up after this short break. And once again, Scotty down there in the middle of the front straightaway. He's been busy all day long. Get us up to speed. What are you thinking here, Scotty?
All right, thank you, guys. We are down here where it's all going to happen. 2 mains in the books right now. 3 guys looking like they got a chance for the overall win. Ty Tessman, Ryan Mayfield, and Spencer Rivkin all poised for a chance to win the big money here at Visions. It's all going to be decided here in final number 3. Who's going to be able to do it? We'll find out here in just a few minutes. Back to you, Ken and Mike.
Okay, here we go. Welcome to the Mid-America Outdoor Invite Nitro Buggy A3 main. All the players up there on the platform ready to make some noise here, controllers in hand, ready to duke it out. By the way, this is brought to you by A-Main Hobbies, Cole Ogden, Spencer Rivkin, Adam Drake, Fee Long Nguyen, Ryan Mayfield, all lined up there. They are in the first 5 starting positions. 30 laps in distance is what we're looking here. It goes by blistering fast. Keeping an eye on our starter there, letting them know, like, guys, get ready to go. Set the cars down. We are off and running. Here we go.
Off and underway, our final Invite Nitro Buggy A-Main number 3. This is going to be an exciting one. Trouble already for Camden Lime right out of the gate here in this one, but Cole Ogden out to a good clean start. He's got Rivkin right there behind him, and Drake up at the number 3 spot.
Nice clean start here in this opening lap. Everybody in line here. We know that it's difficult to pass, but they will stay close here and try to take advantage of anybody that makes a bobble.
Well, keep an eye right now on Ryan Mayfield, Ty Tessman. They're right on the back wing. A Fee Long Nguyen over the right side they go. Fee goes a bit wide there. Here's Adam Drake in the number 3 spot.
Thought Rivkin, you just don't know how it's going to shake down, but Rivkin not right on the rear wing there of Ogden. And get up there and get that lead early on and check out would be a great opportunity. However, Cole Ogden thinking, I'm not so good with that game plan.
And as they're working their way around right now, as it sits right now, unofficially, I think Spencer Rivkin would be your overall winner, but we got 28 laps left to go here in this one. So Ryan Mayfield and Ty Tessman, they got to start making their moves and start moving up as quickly as possible. They got Fee right there ahead of them and Adam Drake just ahead of them as well. And Ryan Mayfield looking for a way by Fee Long Nguyen right there, not able to make it happen. Fee holding strong here. Mayfield up the inside. Not going to be close enough. Mayfield's going to try and set him up onto the back straight. Dive to the inside. Into the drop way. He's got Ty Tessman all over his back door. Oh, no!
Huge
Trouble
wreck there. Up in the front of the pack.
No!
Mayfield, Tessman getting beat to death here.
Wow.
In the midst of all of that, Mayfield somehow managed to get away with it. Wow, that was complete chaos up at the front of the field.
And that was Joe Bornhorst there, unable to make the double. He goes from, I believe, 6th to almost dead last in that one. Unbelievable turn of events right there. So Rivkin in the number 2 spot. Mayfield moves up a bit here. Ty Tessman, he has got his work cut out for him here in this one. Oh, there he gives Mason Fuller a little bump there. You see Ty trying to make quick work here. 26 laps left to go. There's Ryan Mayfield working on Fee Long Nguyen.
Is this a good time to bring up the fact that Ty Tessman started 13th in the last A-Main and finished 2nd? I mean, he could certainly get up in there. He's proven that. Mayfield now all over the back of Fee Long Nguyen.
And he's looking for a way by right now. And Fee, I tell you what, Fee is unbreakable at this point. Only 12 years old.
Here comes Mayfield. Mayfield's going to try and set him up right here in these S sections. Not going to be close enough that time. Oh, gave him a little bump there. Fee goes sideways, unable to make the double. Mayfield goes by. That's exactly what Mayfield needed right there, as he's now set his sights on Spencer Rivkin.
Yeah, and I don't know if we'll get a chance to see that one again, but it really looked to me like Fee kind of opened up the door there, maybe just the smallest of bobbles, and Mayfield was right there. A little bit of contact there, and that just kind of finished it off, but that was not a Mayfield bullying his way through there.
And Ryan Mayfield right now, look at Fee. Fee has not let him go. Fee says, I'm coming back for you, Ryan.
Yeah, good for him. I mean, he's got plenty of speed, no doubt. And he felt the wrath of a Mayfield in the heat race one day ago and never bobbled there.
Here they come onto the right-hand side of the track. Spencer Rivkin in second. Cole Ogden is out to a 5-second lead here in this one. Ogden not necessarily in the running with points for the overall, but still Ogden looking to maybe take home a check for at least a main event win.
So, yeah, we'll keep an eye on that as well, as Spencer Rivkin, I thought, would stay right on the rear wing of Ogden, but clearly, as you say, 5 seconds away there, and Ogden and Rivkin really drove away from that pack, but then with all the shenanigans that went on back behind them, it created a little more gap. Rivkin, I don't know if Rivkin was part of that or not. I thought he was clear, but to be honest with you, but with Mayfield only a second behind, it would indicate that he might have been the instigator of that moment.
Well, and as when they worked their way around last time by, it was a 26.7 for Rivkin, a 26.9 for Mayfield. Here they come back this time, 27 flat, a 26.6. So that time, Mayfield makes 0.4 of a second up on Rivkin. These two drivers both from Arizona. They race together a lot.
So if I'm looking at points over there, the results, it looks like Rivkin would have the overall lead right now with Mayfield just behind him.
20 laps left to go.
So it's showing Tessman, Mayfield, and Rivkin as it stands right now, as Rivkin was 3 points back of Tessman coming into this.
20 laps left to go here. This battle right here is going to start heating up a bit. Ty Tessman is back up into the number 4 spot. So as you talked about, Ty Tessman working his way back up in there. There's the points as they run right now. Ty Tessman would have the overall with 65 points. Mayfield with 63. Rivkin with 62. So Mayfield right now needs to get past Rivkin and possibly catch up to Ogden. Here comes Ty Tessman now. Look at this, Ken. Ty Tessman, after that huge pileup, has caught back up to these guys. I got to say, I think Ty is probably the fastest man on the track right now.
26.3, I think he just proved that. He laid one down, no question there. 26.7 for Rivkin, but that 26.3 is the class of the field here so far. The middle of the third and final race. Cole Ogden looking to steal $1,500. Not a threat for the overall, but as the points stand as we take a quick commercial break, Ty Tessman up top, followed by Ryan Mayfield and Spencer Rivkin.
RC Racing at Visions Off-Road is brought to you by Mid-America Outdoors and by American Outdoor Events.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Mid-America Outdoors. This is the 2023 RC Racing Visions Off-Road event. $30,000 on the line, and we are in the middle of race number 3, the third and final A main. This is going to decide who gets the $5,000 overall check. Rivkin trying to hold off two of the absolute best, both of them really fast. Tessman trying to get around Mayfield. He is applying a lot of pressure. Just a bit of a bobble there out of Rivkin. He's going to open up the door. Mayfield stuck the nose in for a second.
Rivkin right now, he has got the pressure on him. He's got Mayfield and Tessman behind him. Mayfield, now he's trying to offense and defense here as he's trying to make the move on Rivkin, but hold Tessman behind him. Here they come down the front stretch. Three-way battle for the overall here, Ken.
Yeah, these are the three players, no question, and completely inverted, by the way.
Ooh! And Ty checked up right there. I don't know if you saw that, but he had the opportunity to put a wheel in and send Ryan flying, and he did not.
Well, I saw the same thing out of Mayfield. In fact, I saw him really hit the brakes and unload the rear end of the car to stay out of Rivkin at one moment. So everybody really driving respectfully here as they all dive into the pits at the same time.
I don't know how that was planned, but All of them coming in and out there.
Did anybody get out in front of the other? That's what
Mayfield
the question
flamed
is.
out. Ryan Mayfield has flamed out. Mayfield headed back into pit lane now.
Oh, he will be absolute livid.
Trouble there for Ryan Mayfield as they try and get that car back going. He is back on the racetrack now. So that is going to knock Ryan Mayfield out of this one and any chance of an overall.
Well, we'll see. I mean, a lot of racing yet to go. Anything could happen to those top two guys. Let's get more from Scotty.
Thanks, guys. As they came into the pit, it was so tight. 65, 63, 62. Advantage Tessman over Mayfield and Rivkin now. With Mayfield having problems, that's going to mix it all up. That should continue to keep Ty Tessman out front.
The pit stop for Ty Tessman at a 6.71. Cole Ogden, our leader, a 6.16. So leading that battle. Of course, unfortunately for Ogden, not in the hunt here in terms of points.
Yeah, right now we're looking at Spencer Rivkin, and what Rivkin needs to do right now is somehow hunker down, catch Cole Ogden, put Ogden between himself and Tessman if he wants any shot at this overall. As it sits right now, Ty Tessman would take the overall with the 65 points. Rivkin has 62 points, so he needs a little luck on his side and a little bad luck on Tessman's side. 12 laps left to go here. You got to hand it to Cole Ogden. He got out front early on, and he has just said see you later from these guys. Only 1.9 seconds ahead of Rivkin right now, but still flawless race for Cole Ogden.
In terms of having a great race here, congrats to Joe Bornhorst starting off in the 10th position. Has picked up 4 spots there. Camden Line starting off 12th has picked up a couple of spots as well up into the top 10. But it's all about this overall and a $5,000 payday at the end of it for Ogden. He's hoping to pick up a $1,500 check for winning this A-Main. It would be a great day here for Ty Tessman if he can hang on for sure.
That was trouble there for Ryan Mayfield. Mayfield may be out of this race completely.
In the thick of it once again, but does not go his way. Talking about Ryan Mayfield.
Well, there's Mayfield right there. He's back on the track. And possibly take home some cash himself.
Tessman's lead extending here as he bumps up another position. He gets around Adam Drake and extends that lead now. A total 67 points to 62 for Spencer Rivkin. So Tessman just needs to bide his time here. Be smart about what he's doing here in traffic, and I'm sure the seasoned veteran understands all of that.
Got 9 laps left to go here in this one. There's Ty Tessman.
Certainly worth mentioning that he finished second overall a year ago as well. I mean, he was right there. And as I recall, it was changing on the last lap last year.
Yeah, he's on his A game here in this one. He's trying to close that gap up there on Rivkin. As of right now, Ty has got the overall wrapped up, even if he finishes in the 3rd place spot. 7 laps left to go.
Oh, and the leader, Ogden just had a big moment.
We saw a car spinning there in the big double on the right-hand side, and it turns out that was Cole Ogden, the HB Racing driver. So Ogden now throwing away the lead. That allows Spencer Rivkin up into the number 1 spot. Ty Tessman now going to be moving up into that number 2 spot. Here they come onto the right-hand side. Indeed, so Ogden into 3rd now.
Yeah, and in terms of points, they stay about the same because Tessman and Rivkin both pick up a spot here. But it'd be a nice day for Spencer Rivkin, who's been pounding around in the front as well. Getting down to it, just 6 laps yet to go. Coming down to it, 5 laps to go. And no point, Tessman's got to know this at this point, man. No point in really pressing here, aside from trying to pick up another $1,500. But it's one of those situations where you run your pace, and if the guy gives it to you in the front, much like Ogden just had a moment, then you want to be there to take advantage of it, but you certainly don't want to risk everything to get it either.
Well, we just saw there the fan votes, 53% going to Ty Tessman to win this thing overall.
I think for Tessman, the concern is going to be Cole Ogden back behind him, because Ogden's going to be hungry to get back up there to the front and try to win this thing, but has no bearing on the overall.
You're absolutely right. And look at this. Ogden has closed the gap up on Tessman now. 4 laps to go here. They're going to cross the line this time, only 3 laps after this one. Adam Drake, let's talk about him a bit there. Adam Drake up in the number 4 spot. Joe Bornhorst from 10th on the grid up in the 5 spot. Bornhorst looking at a potential 3rd overall as well here.
Winding this one down here, as you talked about, coming around with 2 to go. About a 14-minute race or so is what the previous A main was. First and second place right there. Final 2 laps. Tessman now closing the gap a little bit on Rivkin. Has gapped himself a bit from Cole Ogden. So no pressure behind.
Here they come, 1 final lap to go. Cross the line this time. They're going to get the white flag this time by. Down the front stretch they go 1 final time. Ty Tessman chasing down Rivkin. Rivkin right now has just got to hope for something to happen here with Ty, but Ty looks strong. I tell you what, I think this is Ty's race.
Ty's been hot all day long, no question. Won the first one, came from 13th to 2nd in the second one. Started off 6th in this one, right up there into 2nd, and he almost is right there to win this thing. Drives up on it, and he gets it. He steals the win in the last turn, picks up another $1,500. He wasn't playing anything safe. Last lap, I'm throwing down, man. I am absolutely going for it here and thinking I'm not going to crash. I mean, worst thing that happens is I finish 2nd, but he steals that win away from Rivkin, at least is what we're thinking as we look at the stripe. If we look at time and its scoring, it says Rivkin has crossed first. So we'll wait for an official call on that.
Wow.
Visually, it looked like Ty Tessman got it. I'm not real sure where the loop is inside of the dirt there for the transponders. According to time and scoring, it says that Spencer Rivkin was first one across the stripe, and the difference was .154. Final race in the books. We'll be right back to wrap up the results. Welcome back to the 2023 RC Racing at Visions Off-Road.
Yeah, man, that was wild.
A page out of the Sportsman's book.
I was going to say that was something wild right there. What a turn of events. We got to take a replay there of that crossing the finish line for sure, because like you say, judging if you're a driver up in the driver's stand, looking at that finish line, I mean, that's a tough call right there.
Yeah, Tessman's going to walk out of everything, and he got it. Of course, eventually they'll see where that timing loop is, but exciting stuff there. And once again, we'll go back down to Scotty. He is with our overall winner. Great weekend.
All right, man, it came down to the last race. You know, the point structure here makes it very, very exciting, and it came down to the final few positions, and congratulations, you are the overall Visions champion.
Thanks. Just want to thank all the crew for everything, making this whole event happen. It was a really awesome race. It's obviously better when you win, but it's really a cool event, and couldn't be happy with how my stuff was working all week. I was like to win the last one. I tried for it last corner, but I also was trying to conserve and make sure I made the whole time, because fuel's always been close. So I'm happy with the win. Would have been nice to get the last win, but you know what? Spencer drove really good. The last race was kind of chaotic, and I'm happy to finish 2nd in that one. So yeah, just happy with how everything went this weekend. Yeah, just thank all my sponsors again for all their continued support through the years, through the thick and thin. My family for all their support and love through the years, my wife back home, and most importantly, my Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ.
Last year, obviously, we had the major drama and everything like that. You guys had overcome that. You finished last year with a win in Final 3. You kicked it off with a win. This has just got to be a great feeling.
Yeah, for sure, to be able to put that behind us and race. I mean, we all raced really good at the front, so having a clean race, no drama, is always a good thing on our part anyway. Yeah, just happy with everything's gone. Kind of get some momentum for the rest of the year, hopefully, and see where it goes.
All right, well done. Congratulations. Joey's got a big old check here for you, Ty. All right, Ty Tessman, your overall invite winner.
Excellent job there for Ty, man. Absolutely on kill here today. No question about that. And all 3 A mains And we'll get it back down to
Scotty.
Scotty.
We're going to cut right to second. Overall, Spencer, this was an absolute duel that you guys all had. Many guys had a chance at this. Take us through that last final.
Yeah, I mean, the track was changing a lot. People were kind of questioning what tires this should go out on. I ended up taking an audible, going out on some blue reflexes. I've been running triple Ds in blue all weekend, so track kind of changed. My pit guys down there below, Richard, did an amazing job. The guys here with J Concepts, Jason came out, helped out for the tire stuff. Cars worked good all weekend, and yeah, I really have no complaints. It was a hell of a race. Ryan had a terrible thing happen in pit lane with the flame out. Everyone was super close on fuel mileage, so yeah, you gotta race till the end and keep it in there and hope for something to happen. You know, you'd hate to see your buddies go out, but it's part of racing. We were having a hell of a battle. Me, Ryan, and Ty going out. I know Ty was leading, but he was in third, and he knew he didn't really have to do anything. So it was a good race. Last year was a pretty bad, disappointing race for me. I'm glad we came back. The guys put on a great race, Joey and the crew. You guys coming out, changing up the dirt a little bit. And a big shout out to the Visions, American Outdoor Visions event for putting on a good event. So,
take us through that last corner there with you and Ty.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of knew where the line was. I know, like, from your guys' perspective, the finish line that they drew down was not really the loop. I knew it was actually more of a diagonal across the apex of the corner, so I just kind of wanted just to go straight. He kind of got into me a little bit. I mean, he basically drove kind of on top of me, but my transponder must have been just a couple inches further than his, so I'll take it.
Absolutely, well done.
Yeah, thanks.
All right, Spencer Riven. Joe, got a big check here for Spencer. He also gets the race win, so that's $1,500 for taking final them three. Well done to second overall, Spencer.
And there you go. It's official. He got the big check, man. I'm not giving that one back.
No, he's taking it. He is taking it for sure.
Even if he didn't beat him to the transponder, he was blocking the transponder if Ty Tessman was on top of him, right? So, exciting finish for us anyways. Great stuff, and once again, we'll get it back down to Scotty. A tough go of it here. Ryan Mayfield, certainly a player here all weekend long, but laid up a little bit short here in this last A main.
All right, we're here with Ryan Mayfield. Ryan, A number 3, it was going well, then just had some tough luck there during the pit stop.
Yeah, not too sure exactly what happened. I don't really want to blame my pit guy, but it seemed like when you get raw fuel in the pipe after it's so hot, the car will shut off. And when I went back out, I didn't have any brakes. So, like, if you spill fuel in the car, it gets on the brakes, gets on the pipe. So it's an easy mistake to do. It is what it is. I'm not sure if that's exactly what happened or not, but that's kind of what it seemed like. But, yeah, the car was really good. I got a decent start and just kind of trying to pick my way through traffic. And, yeah, kind of a bummer. I mean, I don't really understand how I still got third overall, but I'll take it. I mean, I figured I kind of went back out there after I flamed out and had a couple crybaby laps and just not trying. And then at the end, I'm like, just go get as much as you can get. So I actually ended up passing a couple guys, and I guess that's how I got third overall. So, but yeah, thanks to Live RC, thanks to Visions, thanks for everything. This is an awesome event. It's been pretty tough luck for me the 2 years I've been here, just weird things happening. But at least, hey, I got something to show for it this year. Got on the podium, and yeah, we'll reset. We got a bunch more races this year. And thanks for everybody watching at home. Thanks to everybody who supports me, my wife, my kids, and awesome event.
All right, best of luck the rest of the year, and thanks for coming. Tough luck, but still, way to salvage a third.
Yep, thanks, guys.
All right. Ryan Mayfield, great racer, one of the best in the world. Had some tough luck, able to salvage a third spot. You can hear the disappointment in his voice, but still, these guys at their level of competition and commitment and skill, they want to stand on the top of the box. There's no doubt about it. So third for you and I, average guys, we're stoked. Him a little disappointed, but still going to take home some cash and a good finish here at Visions. Back to you, Ken and Mike.
Thanks a lot, Scotty. Wow, what a great weekend. What a great day it's been. We battled a little bit of weather just one day ago, but today it could not have been any better. Ty Tessman, the hottest driver on the property, no question about it. Absolutely on fire in a couple of different categories as well. He picked up another $1,000 in the E-Open as well, so was shredding it over there. But we've got to focus here on our invite drivers. He came out, won that first one, scrapped his way up, which I really think was a game changer in the second A main from 13th to second. That was the tough one to get done.
Yeah, it was astonishing to see him do it because on this track it was so fast and just the littlest mistake, it was hard to make up time for these guys. So for him to go that far back on the grid all the way to the front, I would have been a poor man if I would have bet money on that one, because no way would I have thought he would have gone that far from the back to the front.
I couldn't agree more there. And Rivkin hanging on at the very end really did a good job. Great to see him grab that $1,500 there right at the stripe. Knew exactly where that timing loop was and did what he had to do to grab that win. Mayfield again here just a little bit short, but boy, he was really, really good and exactly what we would expect out of a Ryan Mayfield. A small bobble there in the pits.
Yeah, just a misfortune in there in the pits, and as he talked about, not really sure exactly what happened to him there. Obviously, as always, he had the speed. He had everything that he needed. Just a little misfortune came his way, but he made the best of it. Like you said, he got back out on the track, was able to salvage a third. So still got to be happy with that. I mean, this is a world-class event, and finishing third at the world-class event, I'd be happy with that.
Yeah, to bring home a little bit of cash, too. It'll help take some of the sting away,
That's right.
So good stuff here. It's been a great week again. Hope you guys enjoyed all the action here on Speed Sport 1. Certainly a pleasure bringing everything to you and love covering world-class events like this one with a big payout. It brings the best out in everybody, and we love the competition. Scotty Ernst did an absolute great job. For my colleague here, Mike Garrison, it's a pleasure to bring you all the action from Mid-America Outdoors. Hope you enjoyed it here at the 2023 RC Racing at Visions Off-Road, brought to you by A-Main Hobbies and HPI Racing. See you next year.